Hi, I'm Mike. All year long, the ranch works towards this one day, today, when calves get brought in, sorted from their moms, loaded on trailers, and sold at auction. It's the ranch's one payday of the year, today, on our Wyoming Life. It's early. I'm waiting for the sun to rise a bit so I can see anything out there. It's darker than a cow out there. I'm also waiting for help to arrive. I've got a few neighbors coming in this morning to help sort calves. Erin's going to be out in a little bit after her mom gets here to watch the kids. But that's okay. We have a few minutes, and that gives me a chance to hang out with you for a while. Today is going to be a busy day. It's been a busy week. We're getting ready to ship calves off to auction, but we're also fixing fence and mending corrals and moving cows this way. I also had an unexpected visitor this week when Blake from the YouTube channel Guy in WY popped into the ranch. We had talked in the past about doing something together, but you know what? He was in town and he gave me a call, and we got a chance to hang out for a bit and get to know each other. In fact, he even took a look at a leaking fuel line on a tractor of ours. If you haven't had a chance to check him out, please do so. He's right here in Wyoming. In fact, I think he's the only other Wyoming YouTuber I've ever met. He ranches down by Cheyenne and is definitely worth checking out. And I'll put a link to his channel right down in the description. After our visit from Blake, it was right back to work. I had to get all the calves moved up from about 5 miles back on the ranch, where they have been all summer long, spending time with their moms.
Before we even get to the project at hand today, the sorting of calves and loading in the trucks for the auction, we have to get the cows and their calves home to the corrals and the loading chutes. This process starts a few days before sale day. The cows and calves currently live on a huge expanse of land, roughly 2 miles wide and 2 miles deep. The goal here is to gather up all the cows and the calves and start them moving towards home. The problem is, they're pretty widely spread out. The solution to the problem consists of finding the cows and their calves that are the farthest from home and starting there, with only a few cows, and start them moving towards the gates, which are miles away. It's up and down hills, looking in valleys and ravines, searching for any hidden animals. If a calf gets left behind, it will not only be missing when it's time to load trucks and trailers, which could and would cost the ranch revenue, but a lone calf left down here could possibly become a target for coyotes. And even if we did go back and find it, moving a single calf is a huge pain. They don't have the herd mentality of the cows. So in the end, it's better to take the extra time and make sure they're all together, where the calves will follow the cows, and the cows kind of know where they're going. It's a long process, gathering all the hidden cows and the calves, but once they're all located and moving towards the specific gate, things get a little bit easier. Most of the cows have been through this many times before and know where they're going, and in order to keep them moving along, we'll use a tractor and a bale of hay to entice them to move where we want them to go. Food, as it is for me, is a huge motivator for cows, and after a few hours of gathering, grouping, and moving the herd, we eventually end up back at what we call our home pasture. About 400 acres that leads directly into the lot, a 3-acre area that will keep the cows and calves together in until we get to sorting them all off. Getting them into that lot is a little bit more tricky, and it's a trick that I can't quite do myself. Even with food put down to lure them into the area, they don't want to go through the gate. Most are happy just to hang out and eat grass, and the calves, who haven't been moved too much, just don't understand where we want them to go or what we want them to do. Luckily, Erin sees my plight from the house and hops on a four-wheeler to come out and give me a hand. And within a few minutes, we have most of the cows and the calves pushed through the gate into the new pasture, where we'll let them hang out overnight. Tomorrow is the big day, and we feed them and make sure they're calmed down before we get to work. As the sun begins to rise on sale day, our help arrives, and the first job is to sort off the bottle calves. Sunshine is the only bottle calf that will be staying on the ranch. The rest, yes, including Gunther, will be sold at auction. This is goodbye to Gunther, but it's the way things go around here. Next year, there will be another Gunther, and we'll go through the whole process again. It can be sad. Selling calves is very bittersweet for me. I put a lot of work into making sure these calves are healthy and well. Many of these calves I've held in my arms after they were born, bringing them into the shop or the barn for medical attention. The kids name quite a few, and even they have to learn that every calf that's born here on the ranch means money to pay a power bill, buy fuel, or fix a tractor. It's a business, and as much as I would love to keep every calf that I grow close to, it's not a realistic idea. Each calf that we do keep costs us money, and every one has to be worth it. After the bottle calves are sorted off and loaded into the corral ready to get on the truck, it's time to bring in the rest of the cows and the calves, moving them into progressively smaller pastures, into holding corrals, where they'll be sorted. Coordination between everybody helping is key here. We're going to keep back about 13 calves, some to complete the kids' herds. Each of our kids, Mackenzie, Grace, and Lincoln, have a herd of 5 cows. Their calves are sold in their names, and the money put towards their college education. Other calves are kept to finish and butcher for farmers market sales of beef next year.
I'm going to give you this.
Everyone helping out needs to know which calves we're going to keep, and a list is spread around to make sure that everybody can keep an eye out for those calves. We sort them into a separate corral and make sure that they don't get on the truck. The rest of the calves are marked to go to auction and are sorted off their moms in the alleys. Narrow but long strips of corrals that allow us to push the calves back and hold them while their moms move past us to the other end, allowing us to then move the calves into a separate corral before moving their moms back out the other end and back into another holding corral. Our help working the back end of the herd in the larger corrals keeps the cows and calves moving up towards the sorting corrals, and the process repeats itself over and over again with loads of about 10 to 20 animals until they're all sorted off and the corrals are full of calves. Just in time, as the trucks arrive and back into the loading chutes. We have 2 semi-trucks to load today. Each one can hold about 100 calves. The trailers themselves are a labyrinth of compartments and a maze of gates and ramps and holding areas. Kachina and Sean are hauling our calves for us today.
I'm Kachina. I drive for Fowler Trucking. We'll load based on weight and number. It depends. We load from front to back usually. Down first, into the nose.
Okay.
First. Yep. And then we'll pull this here. You're good.
You're
And
stuck.
we'll open this here. And they can load onto the nose deck. I'll flip that down and they'll load onto the nose deck. And then if we need to, haul about 106 calves. This is the dog house.
This
What
is
they call the dog house.
for the naughty ones.
Yep, for the extras, you can put 5 or 6 calves in there.
Okay.
We're standing on what they call the top deck. And then
And this is the belly.
And this is what they call the belly. Yep, I'll pull this.
Can you go down that?
Walk down into the belly.
How many calves go down in the belly?
Usually 32 and 32 are top and bottom deck. In your nose deck, we'll haul 10 and 12 and 10 in the nose.
Okay.
And then 15 to 17 on the back, depending size, weight, and
When Kachina is ready, we have a little conference about the number of calves that we're going to load into each compartment, and then we start loading calves. And I try to remember which group she needs. Was it 25, then 25, then 32, then 5? Well, she'll yell at me if I'm wrong.
Come on, guys.
Loading the calves goes smoother than my memory, and with the help of our crew, who has all done this before, the calves are loaded into 2 separate trucks, and they head down the road towards South Dakota to our closest sales barn and auction house, about 2 hours away. While the trucks are en route, we take some time to push the cows out of the corrals and back onto pasture, where they will bawl for their calves until their milk dries up and they settle down. We also move our calves, who we are keeping on the ranch, the steers, and the heifers, to another corral where they have food and water. For the first time in years, Erin and I head over to the auction with kids in tow, mostly to take you there with us. Our auctions are also done on the internet, so we usually stay at home and watch them from there. Another reason we stay home is because the moms who have just lost their calves are going to be looking for them for the next few days, and it's better to stay close in case they take out a fence or something else trying to find their babies. But down the road we go, into South Dakota and arriving at the sales barn and auction, where 9,000 calves will be sold today, and trucks are everywhere, unloading calves from 3 different states where they have been raised for this very day. The sales barn and its area span over many acres, with hundreds of pens to keep calves separated by sellers on one side of the barn to buyers on the other. Even as more trucks arrive outside, the auction is going on inside, and calves are brought in one side and sold to buyers from all over the area. It all happens very quickly, and after a sale is made, they are moved out the other side of the barn into waiting pens, where the buyers will pick them up over the next few days and take them to feedlots, where they will be fattened over the next year and eventually end up in your supermarket.
This whole day brings another season to an end on the ranch. The calves are gone, but the ranch still exists and goes on, which I learned when my phone rang in the middle of the sale, and I found out from one of our hunters that's on the ranch now that a bunch of cows had broken down fence and gotten into our yard, right next to the shop, our house, and Erin's gardens. Not really a good thing. But actually it could have been a lot worse, as cows can do a lot of damage if they want to. Luckily for us, I was able to call my neighbor Gary to come and help move the cows back to where they were supposed to be. And we decided to leave the auction a little early and get back and survey the damage, where the cows had broken about 20 feet of fence that needed to be pushed back into place, and the cows had to be pushed back and get them as far away as possible from our house, where we expect to sleep tonight, with the sound of 160 bellowing moms in the background. Needless to say, we'll be sleeping with the TV on tonight, and probably pretty loud. I've heard a lot of ranchers say that today is the day they work all year for, the one paycheck that for the ranch, and you know what, I can understand that. But I also like to think that today is the day that allows the ranch to work for all the other incredible experiences that we get to be a part of. Feeding cows all winter long, calving in the spring, and cutting hay in the summer. Living out here in the rolling hills and the tall wheatgrass, and meeting people and making friends just like you. It's a cycle that continues. And coming up on our Wyoming Life, we'll be getting ready for winter, finishing steers, working with our remaining calves, fixing water lines, and apparently mending more fences as well. Erin has some cool stuff coming up as we get ready to build a new high tunnel, and she takes a stab at winter growing and a whole lot more. We've had a few people ask us about getting their very own Our Wyoming Life t-shirt, and I'm proud to announce that just this week we've partnered with Amazon to offer Our Wyoming Life t-shirts for sale right on Amazon.com. Head over to Amazon, search for Our Wyoming Life, and you'll find them there. We're also allowed to submit some of our own designs. So if you have an idea for an Our Wyoming Life t-shirt, tell us about it in the comments, and we'll see if we can make it happen. Subscribe, check us out on Facebook. And make sure you also go to Guy NWY. He's got some really cool stuff going on as well. Thanks for being here, and thanks for joining us in our Wyoming Life.